Hello, good morning, defense aspirants. Jai Hind.
Good morning, sir.
Can you all see me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's start with our session. We've been able to take some questions every day. मैं इंसिस्ट कर रहा हूं कि आप लोग अपने अपने सवाल भेजें जिससे कि हम उसको ज्यादा सवाल ले सकें. समय थोड़ा सा कम है, तो मैं रोजाना कोशिश करूंगा कि 4 से 5 सवाल हम ले सकें. अभी तक हम 3 ही सवाल रोजाना ले पाए. दिस इज आवर थर्ड सेशन टुडे. So let us start with the doubt. Ankita, you had a question already posted. You can ask the question that you want. Can you hear me, Ankita?
Yes, sir.
Please ask your question.
Sir, I wanted to ask that what should I write in my hobbies section? I mean, in my free time, I either just listen to music or sit with my mother. And when I asked my fellow candidates, they said that listening music shouldn't be added there in your hobbies.
All right. Why do you think it should not be? Now, let me just talk something about hobbies and interests. Now, what I want to tell you, dear aspirants, is that this doubt, always remember, I always see in the minds of the candidates. First of all, please, I'm repeating for heaven's sake, do not think of hobbies and interests for the sake of writing them in the PIQ form. If you really have a hobby or interest, first of all, you should be very clear in your mind as to what is a hobby and what is the interest. What is the interest? See, the passion with which you follow something makes it either a hobby or an interest. Time that you devote to that particular area. And hobbies and interests are basically to improve your personality, to make you multifaceted type of a person. Everybody does studies, everybody does normal routine work, but there are something that you do to refresh yourself, something that you do to make yourself happy. And if you are doing it with a lot of josh, a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of passion, it becomes your hobby. But if you are, whenever you find time, you do it. If you don't find time, you are still okay with it. So that is the interest. So first thing in your mind should be very clear as to what is the difference between hobby and interest. Second thing is, don't be please biased with the thought that you have to have a hobby or interest. If you have it, very good. If you don't have it, it is still not bad. It is still good. All right. But if you have a hobby or an interest, remember, you must gather a bit of knowledge about it. Like I can give you an example. A candidate has written his hobby is coin collection. Now, those of you who know about coin collection, there is a word which exists in the dictionary for this as a habit of collecting coins. This is called numismatic. If a person doesn't know it, how can it be his hobby or interest? My idea of telling you this is that please, if you have a hobby or interest, you genuinely like to listen to music because that relaxes your mind. So why not write it as your interest? Yes, you like to listen to the music, you like to listen to the song, but what type of songs do you like? All these questions which are related to your hobby and interest, you should be able to tackle them. So therefore, don't invent a hobby or interest just to write it in the PIQ form. If you have it, very good. Don't have it, it's still good. But don't be preoccupied with the thought that you have to have a hobby or interest, otherwise you will not be selected. I think this is a very wrong feeling. A lot of candidates have this similar thing about their sports, games and sports that they play. A lot of candidates have this doubt that, sir, I don't play a game at any level, therefore I have not written it. Why? You play game. The column for the level is there. If you not played it at any level, write at casual level. So that means you just play games to entertain yourself. All right, you haven't been lucky enough to maybe represent your class or to your school or your district, but that doesn't matter. So please remember, the basic thing is that I want to understand That are you a person who's able to spend some time other than your studies into something which helps you become a better person? And if you have hobbies and interests, there is nothing like it. But if you don't have it, it is not that it will become a criteria for not selecting you. That is the doubt I must say. Has this cleared your point, Ankita?
Yes, sir.
So please don't get obsessed with it. All right. Anybody else? Please shoot your question if you have any. Nisha, you wanted to ask something? Nisha Yadav? Are you there? Ankit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Ayush, you already asked some question. Is there anything else you want to ask?
Yes, sir. I have one question. Last,
तुम्हारी
hello.
आवाज कट हाँ तुम्हारी आवाज कट रही है आयुष
नहीं, sir. मैं, sir, I have one question.
हाँ बताओ
Sir, I want to know some detailed information about TES entry.
what details do you want to know? Tell me.
Sir, what kind of regiment? uh, सर, एक सर्वे मतलब शॉर्ट सिलेक्शन बोर्ड होता है सर, क्या क्या होता है सर ये, और सर एनडीए से कैसे डिफरेंट होता है?
तुम बताओ तुम्हें क्या मालूम है? क्या एनडीए का फुल फॉर्म क्या है? टीएस का फुल फॉर्म क्या है?
सर टीएस का टेक्निकल, सर टीएस का नहीं पता, एनडीए का पता है,
तुम
नेशनल
टीएस
डिफेंस
एस्पिरेंट हो,
एकेडमी।
तुम्हारा तुम्हारा तुम्हारी एंट्री जो है टीएस के लिए है आयुष, है ना?
यस सर।
तो जस्ट इमेजिन यू डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज टीएस फुल फॉर्म.
यस सर, दैट्स माय मिस्टेक।
मिस्टेक एंड देन यू वांट टू नो एवरीथिंग अबाउट टीएस. एटलीस्ट पहले फुल फॉर्म तो पता कर लो यार. समझ रहे हो मेरी बात? Technical entry scheme, why have you selected it? What is it? Haven't you read in the notification? Haven't you known what is the training schedule? How much time is the training period for technical entry scheme? Where all the training takes place? Please go on to the Google. Please find out all these details. And you remember this habit. You are not a class 12th student anymore. You are a defense aspirant. As a defense aspirant, you are expected to have a mind. And I have said a mind which is inquisitive, a mind which is inquiring, a mind which is analytical. So therefore, please don't come here like a 12th class student कि टीचर ने जो नोट करा दिया वो मैं नोट कर लूंगा और उसको घोट के चला जाऊंगा और एग्जाम में देके आंसर देके मैं पास हो जाऊंगा. It is not about passing or failing. Remember, a selection board is looking for a potential in the candidate. We are looking for candidates who have certain amount of ideas in their mind. A candidate who has intelligence enough to provide solutions to day-to-day problems. A candidate who provides solutions using the resources available to him. Wherever resources are not available, he can improvise and produce solutions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, so please work on something. Don't think that I can, give you something which we in the SSB. There's nothing called that you think that I will run the coaching here. If you have a doubt, a specific doubt, I can definitely answer it. Okay, and I can't. You must understand. You have chosen TES. What is the difference between TES and NDA? If a candidate doesn't know this, I'm afraid his intelligence level doesn't suit him. Okay. Now there is Khushi Patel. Are you there, Khushi? Mute hai.
Sir, can I ask a question?
I will allow you to ask a question. That will be, but let me just see if Khushi, can she there? Please. अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा.
So Khushi Patel have actually sent her doubt in the chat because she's unable to unmute her mic. So
But
may I
can
ask
he?
for doubt?
But I can't understand whether she is able to listen to me or not able to listen to me. Khushi,
Okay, sir.
can you hear me? All right. Adarsh, you wanted to ask a question?
Yes, sir. Related to PIQ.
हाँ बोल.
सर क्या है कि मतलब जैसे मैं स्कूल में हाउस कैप्टन था, हमारा हॉस्टल था सर. तो
Okay.
उसके अलावा सर मैंने सर गेम्स में भी सर परफॉर्म किया. उसके अलावा सीसीए कैप्टन था, को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज भी मैंने ऑर्गेनाइज करवाई है. तो सर मेरे को कोई सर्टिफिकेट स्कूल की तरफ से रिकॉग्नाइज ले जाना पड़ेगा सर?
आपने बेटा पीआईक्यू फॉर्म पढ़ा है ना? हैव यू गॉन थ्रू द पीआईक्यू फॉर्म?
सर ये सर मैंने गो थ्रू किया था उसे.
Okay, so please see there are columns for everything that you have talked about. There are columns. All right, for your games and sports there is a column, so you write. If you have taken part into any competitive level at a higher level in your games and sports, please write it down there. Remember, why I will not doubt your answers if they are really truthful answers. And how will I come to know that they are truthful answer? If you are able to really answer my queries, because anybody can say, sir, I've played cricket at district level. Now, if you have played cricket at district level, I would want to check your depth of knowledge. Okay? Not by the certificate. I'm not looking at the certificate to see your knowledge. I want to see how you tackle those questions. Similarly, if you have been a class monitor, if you have taken any position of responsibility, there's a column for position of responsibility. Please fill up that, and you will be able to. I will be able to understand whether you were really a class monitor or is it that you have just written it there. There is no certificate issued for being a class monitor. And remember, I, as an interviewing officer, as an assessor, we will not be looking at your certificates for this. It is through your experience that you have gained as a class monitor will tell me that whether you are truthful or whether you are maroing a satta just to impress me. Yes, I'm a class monitor wrong. Okay? I can tell you a very this thing that in a science school, boys who come similar batch, and I found everybody in that batch is a school captain. But you can't have everybody as a school captain. So there will be only one boy who was truthful. The rest of the people were just trying to maro a satta. It was unfortunate that I was interviewing more than one candidate. So please be truthful. Remember, it is just that if you are truthful, कहते हैं बेटा झूठ के पैर नहीं होते और सांच को आंच नहीं होती. So please do not, I will repeat, do not unnecessarily tell a lie to impress the assessor. If it is something truthful, you may not have a certificate for it, but because you are truthful, your body language, your way your confidence level, your gestures will all tell me, yes, that boy is talking truth. Okay, so इतनी घबराने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. I don't need support for truth. ठीक है? It is only the liars who need certificates. Okay, so
yes sir, यही सर कंफर्म करना था क्योंकि सर स्कूल में मतलब था सर, मैं वो हॉस्टल था हमारा जवाहर नवोदय विद्यालय, उसमें सर मैं हाउस कैप्टन था.
Doesn't matter. So there is never a certificate issued for being a house captain. Yeah, ठीक है? We all understand.
वही सर वही पूछ रहा था.
No, नहीं है तो आप, but you are confident, if you are okay with the fact that yes, you were a house captain, so you are a house captain. Yeah, ठीक है? So don't worry. I don't need certificates. I have my own ways. I have my questions that I'll ask you, and I will be very clear in my mind whether you were really a class house captain or ऐसे ही सट्टे मार रहे हैं. ठीक है? तो इसलिए आप उसकी चिंता.
Okay sir.
Okay. All right. So Khushi is very difficult to interact with a person who's only wanting to write. Does profile affect or influence the SSB interview? What do you understand by profile? I do not know. Are you talking of the profile in the PIQ form? All my interview is based upon your PIQ form. I will definitely want to understand, but it is not for the influencing me. It is for understanding your background. Remember, each candidate has a different background. Which place do you come from? Whether you come from a metro city, where have you studied? Have you studied in a Hindi medium? Have you studied in an English medium? Have you been in a residential school? So everything has an impact. So that allows me to understand what type of background do you have. Is it a affluent family that you come from, or is it from a family or middle class family with mediocre income? What are the means that were available to you in your life? All this has helped me understand you. What has affected? How many siblings do you have? Or are you an only child? A person who is only child will have a different type of psychology, will have a different type of bearing. So hum sab jo hai, we all understand. That is why this PIQ form is asked, to understand your profile, and your profile doesn't have any impact on your selection or non-selection. It has an impact on the way I will put across my question, the type of question that I will put across to you. Because I formulate my interview based upon your profile. What type of person are you? What type? A person who has come from Chinese school, he has got certain facilities which are available to him, which were not available to a person who has just studied in a government school. A person who comes from a Navodaya Vidyalaya, he is privy to certain facilities. What I now want to understand, has he been able to really utilize that facility? How much has he gained? So his profile is different than the person who has come from science school. So that profile has an impact in the way I deduce my deductions. Remember, what is an interviewing officer doing? He's trying to understand your personality. What are the other assessors trying to do? They are all trying to assess your personality. Personality is affected by your profile. So has it positively affected your profile and to your personality, your profile? That is what is my aim of understanding it. So your question that the profile affect or influence SSB interview, if you say that my interview is based upon your profile that I have gone through, then yes. Sorry, you cannot, of course, I do not know why, but because of the background now is, I would recommend that please select a place where you are a little peaceful and you can hear us and we can hear you. Aim of having a live interaction is that I should be able to talk to you and not read you. Then you can call us up and we can clarify your doubts. I hope I have been able to answer your question to the extent that you wanted. Anybody else?
Jain sir, Sir Jagdish here, sir.
Please tell me, Jagdish, about yourself. What is the question that you want to ask?
Sir, I'm a service candidate, sir. Sir, I want to know about, sir, the ground task of GTO, sir, because I haven't practically did all the things, and I am expecting my SSB in next August last. So, sir, should I go for this, or I can learn some techniques on YouTube videos and other things? So, should I practically do this thing for go for coaching for only particular GTO tasks?
Okay, let us understand what are the GTO tasks. How many GTO tasks are there?
9, sir.
There are a total of 9 tasks. Are you aware what are these tasks?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you understand the principle of fulcrum, how to make a boat, if you are able to utilize that resources that are given to you, that balli, patta, and the rope, if you are able to, if you have that intelligence, if you have that quickness of understanding the situation, because before the start of any testing procedure, the GTO will explain to you. The GTO will explain to you, and those rules that are applicable for that particular task, those the group rule and that color rule and rule of infinity, and all those rules will be explained. You should be aware of them. That not touching the red painted area. So all these rules are clear to you. Depending upon if you have the availability, if you have the place, you have the time, you can join. It is always better that it gives you a little more confidence. Otherwise, I told you, it is all in the mind. If you are really a sharp person, if you are a person who is intelligent enough, and you have understood what is the essence, because remember, what is the GTO wanting to see? He is also wanting to see those 15 officer-like qualities. But his task is very important because it is the first time that you are in a group. See, while you were doing your psychology test, you were sitting down in a hall and then doing it, and you were reacting to various pictures, the words, and the situation. While you are with the interviewing officer, you have one-to-one interaction with them. But it is for the first time on the GTO one day that you are in a group of 10 candidates. Now, your interaction with the group or the group dynamics has a lot of impact. So, are you a person who is a group-oriented person who is able to adjust himself in a small team? is what is the basic thing. And that is why if you see the largest time given in SSB is to a GTO, 2 days. And in the GTO also,
Yes, sir.
first you are together, whole group is together. Then slowly it becomes a half group. You know, that means you are going from 10, now you become 5 in the group. All right. Then you go to do again a group race. So there are various dynamics, the various methodology that the GTO is using to understand your personality. So if you have the wherewithal, if you have the time and the chutti is there, I know as a service candidate it becomes very difficult for service candidates to find a right time and at the right place where he can really get the guidance in the manner that he wants. It becomes sometimes difficult. But yes, if you are an intelligent person, if you know what is expected of you, we are not looking for your we know you are in the army, you will be a physically fit person, your discipline levels will be higher. So everything is there. We want to see what is your intelligence level. So if you can really intellectually foresee those tasks and be able to provide the solution, because these tasks are not very difficult tasks. It is just the presence of mind and it is also quickness of decision that you have to do. And how well you can gel in the group and how well you can help the group to achieve that particular task becomes a very important aspect of your personality. So I would only say it is very difficult for me to say that should you or should you not. अगर आपको मौका मिले, time मिले, so there is no harm done. Always, it will always help you. Remember, no knowledge is bad. ठीक है, लेकिन there are training or the coaching institute which will tell you कि नहीं ये चीज ऐसे करनी है, ये चीज ऐसे नहीं, वो बिल्कुल गलत है. Because as I say, it is the situation, the time available that will decide how you should tackle a situation, okay, or particular problem. There is no set rule that one can follow, and that is why I always maintain that please understand the theme behind those questions or those situations that are placed to you. What is it? We all are looking for those 15 of the like qualities in a candidate. Okay, Jagdish, has that answered your question?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one more question, sir. Sir, what are the expectation of from the service candidate SSB? What area we need to work more
You see,
as a service candidate?
my expectation from the service candidate is same that is from others. Now I know that you have become a paka hua chawal. See, you have passed that stage where I can mold you. Okay. Whereas a person who comes for NDA, technical entry scheme, his age is so much smaller. He has a longer training period. So your habits and methodology will be little different. I am not very worried about it, like I said, the thing that you've already, because you've been in the army for so long. So my expectation
Sir.
is that you would have had a good discipline. You will be a physically fit person. What is the area of concern to me is your mind. What type of
Sir.
mind do you have? Is it an inquisitive, inquiring, and analytical mind? Is it a mind that can produce solutions, day-to-day problems, using the resources available? So my area of interest as a service candidate for all the assessors is the mind. Because a lot of us in the army, everything is set. हर एक चीज के लिए SOP बनी हुई है. You are not required to use the mind. You are given directions. Now you are wanting to come in a place from where you can give direction. So are you a person wo lakir ke fakir hain aap? Yeah, you can see beyond that. That is the person who is a suitable person who will become a SCO. All right. Therefore, if you are only a person who can follow orders but can't see the rationale, you cannot use your mind effectively, then I am afraid such a person is a follower. But if you want to be a leader, you have to go at that step further. And I want to see how effective is your mind. Are you able to use your brains in an independent situation that will be given to you as a SEO? So please remember that mind plays the most vital role. Although it is important for all the entries, more so in the case of a entry of the service class, because herein most of the times you are told by your superior, अपना दिमाग मत इस्तेमाल करो, जो मैं कह रहा हूं,
Yes, sir.
जो मैं कह रहा हूं वो करो. मैं भी इसलिए रह चुका हूं. अपना
Right,
दिमाग
sir.
मत इस्तेमाल करो. Cause too many cooks spoil the broth. अब आप अपना क्वेश्चन थोड़ी कर सकते हैं, आपको जो आदेश दिया जा रहा है. लेकिन क्योंकि मेरे ऊपर भरोसा है लोगों को, मेरे इंटेलिजेंस लेवल पे, इसलिए मुझे उस पद पे बैठाया गया कि मैं ऑर्डर दे सकता हूं। तो अब मैं ये देखना चाहता हूं कि आपके अंदर वो कैपेबिलिटी है क्या आप रीजन देख सकते हैं, कि आप आदेश दे सकते हैं और सेंसिबल तरीके से एक्ट कर सकते हैं, या केवल आप आदेश को फॉलो कर सकते हैं। अगर आप आदेश को केवल फॉलो कर सकते हैं, यू मे हैव बीन अ वेरी गुड सोल्जर। एंड हु इज अ गुड सोल्जर? हु वर्क्स डेडिकेटेडली, हु वर्क्स हार्ड, who is responsible for whatever task he is given, completes them in time. He is a good soldier. But who is a good leader? Who produces these results? So now I am looking at that leadership part of yours and not at the follower part. Of course, a good leader should always be a good follower also. ठीक है, जब तक आप अच्छे सैनिक नहीं हो तब तक आप अच्छे अफसर नहीं बन सकते हो। तो ये चीज तो बिल्कुल ठीक है
Right,
मेरे
sir.
दिमाग में, ठीक है। तो मुझे मालूम है आप अच्छे सैनिक हो, अब मैं आपको देख रहा हूं कि आप अच्छे अफसर बन सकते हो। उसके लिए आपको मैंने बताया माइंड प्लेज द मोस्ट वाइटल पार्ट। ओके जगदीश?
Thank you, sir.
All right, I think we have enough time for these questions today. We've been able to take at least one more question. We have taken today more than 3. I would recommend to you, dear candidates, please write your questions, send it to us on the Google, so that we can organize this meet in such a manner that we make optimum use of the time available. I'm happy that your responses are prompting us to go ahead with this sort of a procedure. But should you have any ideas, should you have any suggestions, please feel free to write to us. We will see how well we can implement all your suggestions, all your needs. We will be able to. Aim, remember, is very clear. Aim is to help you see the light. Aim is to help you see the path. How you will follow that path, whether you will run on that path, whether you will walk on that path, choice is entirely yours. All the very best. God bless you all. Jai Hind.
अब डिफेंस एग्जाम क्रैक करना हुआ और भी आसान, त्रिशूल डिफेंस एकेडमी लेकर आए हैं बिल्कुल ही एडवांस लर्निंग ऐप। तो आज ही ज्वाइन करें और स्टार्ट करें अपनी ऑनलाइन क्लासेस।